When Cristobal opened his first fashion house and named it after his mother, he might not have assumed that it was going to grow to the big force it is right now in the fashion industry. Still, even with all the backlash that has been facing the brand in recent times, we can all agree that Balenciaga grew to be more than a household name into a mighty force that only top celebrities can deal with. What were the days of humbling beginnings for Balenciaga? What led to its exponential rise to the top of the game? Why is it a sour name in the mouths of everybody at the moment? Let's find out. Chapter 1: A fashion house is birthed. Today, Balenciaga is known as a luxury fashion house known for its bold and innovative moves. However, little is known of the days of the brand's beginning when it was a true Parisian couture house that pioneered women's fashion in the mid-20th century. The fashion house began with Cristobal Balenciaga, a self-taught designer who is known for never sketching a single garment on paper with a pencil. He was a very introverted couturier who had a bit of a background in sewing, as his mother was a seamstress. What is known about his background from that end is that he was born in 1895 to a family who lived in a small fishing town in Spain. Sadly, after his father passed away, his mother picked up work as a seamstress to provide for the family. Balenciaga became infatuated with his mother's work and, at just 12 years old, began his own journey into the fashion world as an apprentice in the resort of San Sebastian. Cristobal Balenciaga was a self-taught prodigy at that period in history, like the majority of his peers. There were no fashion colleges or programs for pattern making or design instruction. Local churches frequently used hands-on instruction to teach sewing to low-income families. In 1917, Balenciaga founded his first fashion firm under the name Elisa, which is a shortened version of his mother's maiden name rather than the eminent brand we now associate with him. Before moving to the center of fashion, he even created a second business in Madrid in the 1920s. All the Spanish royals and the aristocracy loved and wore his designs. But then the Spanish Civil War came, and he had to close down. Chapter 2: After the Spanish Civil War. Balenciaga relocated to Paris after the Spanish Civil War forced him to close his stores. In August 1937, Balenciaga founded his Parisian couture store on Avenue George V, where his initial fashion presentation featured designs that drew strongly from the Spanish Renaissance. Success for Balenciaga came almost immediately. In just 2 years, he was heralded as a revolutionary by the media, and his creations were in high demand. Harper's Bazaar editor Carmel Snow supported his ideas from the beginning. During World War II, clients risked their safety to visit Europe to view Balenciaga's apparel. He gained notoriety at this time for his square coat, which had sleeves that were cut in a single piece with the yoke, and for his black and white patterns, or black and brown, lace over bright pink fabric. According to historians, Balenciaga's links with General Francisco Franco, the dictator of Spain and close ally of Adolf Hitler, allowed him to continue his business operations when the Nazis occupied Paris. Because of their strong ties, Balenciaga even created apparel for the Franco family. Only 60 businesses were permitted to operate throughout the occupation, and Balenciaga had an advantage over its rivals because of a steady supply of raw materials from Spain, which was scarce at the time in Paris due to the war. Balenciaga, however, said in his testimony that he turned down Hitler's desire to move his company's operations to Berlin. His lines shifted away from the hourglass shape made popular by Christian Dior's new look during the post-war years, becoming more linear and streamlined. He was able to alter the interaction between his garments and women's bodies because of the fluidity of his shapes. He altered the silhouette in 1951 by reducing the waist and enlarging the shoulders. He created the tunic dress in 1955, which eventually gave rise to the chemise dress in 1958. The spherical balloon jacket, the high-waisted baby doll dress, the cocoon coat, the balloon skirt, and the sack dress were more post-war innovations. His efforts resulted in the Empire line, which featured kimono-inspired coats and high-waisted dresses, in 1959. In particular, his manipulation of the waist led to what is considered to be his most important contribution to the world of fashion, a new silhouette for women. Chapter 3: Cristobal Balenciaga. Cristobal Balenciaga was a shy man who disliked the paparazzi and the media. Even after reaching tremendous heights, he continued to despise the media and really grew even more secretive. When he started to object to American copyists in 1956, he was the first couturier to leave the chambre syndicale system. To maintain the quality of his work, he started disseminating his famed collections 1 month after the official Paris dates. Even Givenchy and Yves Saint Laurent followed in his footsteps by forbidding the media from attending their runway displays, which is difficult to even conceive in an age where social media has made fashion shows available to everyone. The 1950s were a turning point for Balenciaga, helping to establish the fashion house's current level of prominence. In women's fashion, Cristobal Balenciaga invented never-before-seen silhouettes. From stunning, sack dresses, to balloon hems with lots of volumes. Many of his creations, many of which are now the current hit trends, were avant-garde in their day before becoming widely popular. Balenciaga closed his haute fashion firm in 1968 after several highly successful decades, and he tragically lost away 4 years later at the age of 77. His patrons were shocked to learn that the empire was shut, but he is supposed to have given this explanation because there was no longer a practical way to create haute couture. His exceptional abilities in carving patterns and creating groundbreaking shapes and silhouettes continue to be influential today. Chapter 4: The Scandal That Has Rocked Balenciaga Recently. Balenciaga has become a lightning rod for controversy ever since Demna took over as creative director in 2015, frequently on purpose. Some of these controversial items included dressing Kim Kardashian in a head-to-toe black body stocking for the Met Gala and sending models who resembled refugees down the runway while carrying trash bags made of pricey leather. Other controversial items included putting heels on Crocs and selling destroyed sneakers for $1,850. These incidents frequently seem to be done solely to stir up upgrade. Each only strengthened Demna's Balenciaga's reputation as a company that makes customers question what taste even is. But now, Balenciaga's 2 new campaigns have raised public disapproval to a new level. When Balenciaga released a campaign titled Balenciaga Gift Shop on November 16, the backlash started. Italian documentary photographer Gabriele Galimberti, whose work focuses on the story Our Things Convey About Ourselves, took it in October. Although Mr. Galimberti had previously produced a book with pictures of kids playing with their toys, he had never before taken pictures for a fashion campaign. 6 kids were depicted in his photographs clutching demolished teddy bear handbags, which were first spotted at the company's Paris Spring 2023 runway show. The fluffy bears were decked up with wine glasses and other presents, and they had fishnet tops, leather harnesses, and dark eyes. Mr. Galimberti claimed that Balenciaga had chosen all of the props, kids, and shooting locations and that multiple staff people were present for the 2 days of photography. Soon after the gift shop campaign's photographs were put online, there was a surge of indignation against the juxtaposition of youngsters with what appeared to be bondage relics. Balenciaga unveiled its 2023 Garderobe advertising campaign on November 21, 5 days later, in a different campaign. Social media users focused on campaign photos that appeared to exploit court documents from a ruling on child pornography legislation as a prop. The New York Post and the Fox News program, Tucker Carlson Tonight, were among the right-leaning media outlets to cover the topic as internet criticism of the ads gained traction. QAnon, the online conspiracy theory claiming a gang of Satan-worshipping elites who run a child sex ring are trying to dominate our politics and media, has benefited from the show's support in becoming more well-known and accepted. Here you have a major international retail brand promoting kiddie porn and sex with children, Mr. Carlson told viewers on November 22, and not promoting it subtly but right out in the open. On November 24, the company issued an apology for the gift shop campaign and made a commitment to take the adverts down from its social media pages in reaction to the outcry. We sincerely apologize for any offense our holiday campaign may have caused. Our plush bear bags should not have been featured with children in this campaign. We have immediately removed the campaign from all platforms, read a statement posted to Balenciaga's Instagram on November 24. A second apology for the garderobe promotion was made to the company's Instagram stories a few hours later. "We apologize for displaying unsettling documents in our campaign," the statement said. "We take this matter very seriously and are taking legal action against the parties responsible for creating the set and including unapproved items for our Spring 23 campaign photo shoot. We strongly condemn the abuse of children in any form. We stand for children's safety and well-being." Balenciaga's legacy is one of innovation and timeless silhouettes. The house has been a leader in the fashion industry since its inception in 1918. From its humble beginnings as a small boutique, Balenciaga's influence has spanned decades and changed the way people dress today. Despite its fall from prominence, the brand continues to be respected for its pioneering approach to design.